Today we have invited you not only because we'll be shortly completing 42 years of our marriage, but because we want to share our experiences and learning from them. Having spent many years outside India and even more years in India has helped us take the best of both. We started our married life with a unique vow. I asked, "Will you rock climb with me?"
I said yes, I will. We got married in Sonal's tiny apartment in New York with only 60 guests and total expense of mere $100, in stark contrast with weddings in India.
My life in the US had revolved around lots of outdoor activities. We climbed mountains, skied, bicycled, and did a lot of photography. We earned money only to do these things. After marriage, I, believing in man-woman equality, put one more condition. If I can do something, then you too must be able to do it.
So, together we climbed, repaired our cars, made photo prints, made furniture, and also cooked.
In 1973, the arrival of energy crisis left a lasting impact on both of us, greatly affecting our day-to-day life. This made us environmentalists. It was a first step towards our present incarnation.
We stopped the use of disposable items and air conditioning. We opted for small cars and water conservation. In short, we practiced simple living.
In 1974, during Rupal's research project, she learned about India's population by year 2000. The big scary numbers prompted us to take a joint decision that we would adopt a child when we want one. In 1979, all of a sudden we lost Rupal's parents one after another within 3 months without any illness.
Immediately, we decided that we should return to India before long to spend time with Raju's parents.
But before returning, there were far-off places to travel to that few people visited in those days, places that were wild or with ancient history. In 1982, we took 2 semesters of Spanish language and headed down to South America with 6 months in our hands. We were totally self-contained with 2 backpacks each, containing our kitchen and bedroom. We could cook anywhere and sleep anywhere. It was the most intense experience thus far in our life.
The most memorable parts of the trip were not the pretty places, but wonderful people that we met everywhere.
The trip took us to 1,000-year-old remains of mud palaces in coastal Peru, which inspired us to decide to go back to India and build a mud house for ourselves. This was the second step to our present life. In 1982, Rupal learned a new way of making long-lasting earthen houses under a renowned Iranian architect Nadar Khalili. We thought we had found a magic wand for housing for the poor in India. This was the third step to our present life.
1983 saw us on another long trip that lasted for nearly 8 months. We drove to Alaska, the last frontier of the USA, with no timetable, no deadlines, and no bookings.
We drove the desolate, unpaved 2,000-mile-long Alaska highway and then all the way up to the Arctic Circle. Our little Toyota station wagon was our home on wheels for 5 months. We slept in it all the time, rested in it on rainy days, and even cooked in it. Next we headed south across Mexican border.
Traveled around for 2 months on local buses and trains.
We visited archaeological sites across the country. Visited villages with lovely mud houses. Brown skin and ability to communicate in Spanish, we became one of them in this friendly country. After crossing back into USA from Mexico-Texas border, we traveled on Greyhound bus for a month to ultimately reach Alpna's home in New Jersey. Here, a chance viewing of a film on Edmund Hillary's work with the Sherpas in Nepal convinced us to make full-time commitment to rural work in India. This was our next and the most important step towards what we are doing today. We decided not to work for money anymore.
We landed in India in October 1984 and gave ourselves 1 year to explore and embarked on our most exciting new life.
The change was huge. Raju switched from designing large structures in petrochemical plants and Rupal from housing for oil exploration crew in Alaska to tiny rural houses of stone, earth, bamboo and wood for the poor. New life involved a lot of unlearning followed by learning. Away from the hustle and bustle of the cities, our senses became keener and we started understanding little by little why Gandhiji said that one's house should be made out of materials found within few kilometers of that place.
How local communities could become self-sustaining for food, clothing and housing.
We realized the importance of Gandhi's Gram Swaraj in modern context. In the midst of all this, we finally decided not to have children.
We made yet another exciting 3.5-month-long travel across Sahara. It was a tough trip physically and mentally.
But the experience of traveling on trucks across the desert and on camels in sand dunes was most enriching. The rewards were the magnificent earthen buildings, the ingenious desert irrigation system, and the no-cost sanitation.
Tuareg nomads riding on camels were most impressive.
Invitation to visit earthquake-struck Latur as a part of Government of India team got us involved in disaster safety work. This was the last of the steps to our today's incarnation.
We saw death and destruction resulting from faulty construction that could have been prevented.
The only way to prevent this was to educate the people about the natural hazards and ways to minimize the risk against them at local level using local resources. Educating people in right building technologies became the primary focus of all our efforts from then on. The disasters have taken us to MP, Kutch, Kashmir, Sikkim, Bihar and Uttarakhand. Seeing the same problems everywhere has prompted us to make it our mission to promote safer construction through training and awareness programs. Our focus has been primarily on the traditional construction systems that people practice mixed with modern science and technology to construct environment-friendly, affordable, culturally suitable and disaster-safe houses.
We see this as our own contribution to Gandhi's Gram Swaraj. We must say that we have met nice people in all corners of the world.
So we will say that most people are nice in all the places, but cannot generalize that all the people in some place or of some background are always bad. Finally, we will say that for us, the borders, castes, religions and nationalities do not mean anything. What matters are the people of the world.